Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna wait a few minutes. Maybe in 5 minutes we can start the tutorials. Just gonna turn that off. If you're watching this, maybe you can just drop in a message in the live chat just to say hi. Oops, I didn't put it in public. Just gonna wait a few more people, like maybe 2 more minutes, and then we'll start. It's me here. Edits. Who's watching? Okay, I think might as well start now. Anyway, people can just play back the tutorial after. So I'm just gonna do Hertzmere because that's the one I'm supposed to do for my group. So first, if you wanted to get some just aerial shots, of course you can just use Google Map and then use a screenshot tools or app to get the photo. But if you want to have some more accurate pictures, it's better to use GeoMaps. So if you just type in, like in Google, GeoMaps Auckland, and click on the first one, open GeoMaps, and you'll just get what we had before. Press agree, and now we're just going to zoom in into Hertzmere. So what's good about this, it does provide layer of information that you can turn on and off, and you can extract them as well. So here you can change the base layer, so we can have like the same view as Google, having aerial view. If you wanted to get a clean images, you can just go into the legend and take off some of the things that you don't need. So we can take off address and maybe land base. So now you get a clean image, and I think GeoMaps is more up to date because it's just specific to New Zealand, and it's clearer. So what you could do if you want to have like a high-res image is either go close up and then take a screenshot of the top, one of the bottom, and then combine them in Photoshop to make a high-res photo. But what I'd like to show you is how you can actually extract the data, because to create a figure ground we need to have the building footprint and also the parcel layout. So will be the land base. So we need those little lines, because yep. So you do that by going to this little icon, the tool, just press agree, and here you get the layers that you can extract. For us, what's important will be maybe contour later on if you want to make the site in 3D, but we're not going to do it in this tutorial. I'll show you another time. But we're going to get the building footprint, so that's going to be the shape of each building, and the parcel, which will give you the limits and the roads layout as well. Then you have to change the features to AutoCAD. You can just leave it at JPEG. And before we input our address, we have to select the area that we want to. So you could either use the clipping tool and just select whatever shape you want, double click to close it, and then you can just type in your address and extract. But I think it's better to get a bit more information later on, so you could always go into Photoshop and just crop the things that you don't need. So I would just use center the view and click that button, and it will just crop of that view. And then I'm just gonna type in my address, extract, press OK, and I think in 1 or 2 minutes you should receive an email that give you a link to download a file that will be extracted. So I've already done that, and oops, so that's the type of file that you're gonna receive. It's called dataset. You go inside and it's just a DWG. You can just rename that, hurts me. Okay, so now to create the figure ground, I'm just gonna use Archicad. You could also use SketchUp if you wanted to. Maybe if we have time I'll just show you later on how you can do it, but because with SketchUp you need to have the Pro version, and I'm not sure if they have that at school, but I think they do have Archicad, or I think you could do something similar in Revit, but because I'm not too sure about the different steps in how you do it in Revit, so I'm just going to show you in Archicad because that's what I'm familiar with. So just create a new file, and so now what's important is to bring the file in the correct scale. In Archicad, I'm just gonna bring the drawing into a worksheet, so it's just like a normal 2D plane. Create new, I'm gonna type it Hertzmeer site survey, press create, and now we go to file, merge, and then you go to your dataset. So this one, make sure you go to DWG, this one, press OK, skip. Okay, here there's something that you need to make sure that you do it correctly. You go into setting, I've already done one, but just check what I'm doing. I think the first time that I tried, this was on. If it was on, take that off and make sure that it's 1 meter, because usually the information that you get from the geomaps will be 1 unit equal 1 meter, and that's the same thing that you have to set up in SketchUp. I'll show you that after, but yeah, just make sure that you tick that off, because I think the file itself has already some type of scale, so if the software recognizes it, even if you put 1 meter here, it will just go back to the scale that he had. So I've created a new translator, but if you just go onto the normal one, just untick that, press 1 meter, and save setting. Okay, we're just going to try with the original one. Just have to untick this, save setting, merge, and then you get this little pen tool, and maybe just click it at the origin, press OK, and now we're gonna bring the image, hopefully. Okay, so we got it. Now we need to check if it's at really the correct scale. I know that this distance should be like 12 meters, so press M to get the measure tool, and that's 12 meters, so it's correct. So now usually when you bring it like this, it's all lines, so I don't think in this one, the outline, I'm just gonna delete that. And to make the figure ground, you don't really need that's like the legal name of each parcel, so it's on the AC parcel layer. Press Ctrl L, and I think just here we can just turn that off. Oops. Okay, so the AC parcel layer was the text plus the line, so we put it back on because we don't really need it, and that's the only text on that plane, so we can just click on the text tool and then Ctrl A, and because you've selected the text tool, it will select all the text. Ctrl A, got all text selected, press delete. Okay, now I can turn off the parcel line if I wanted to. So that's what you got. Okay, I mean, you might not need all this, but for the sake of it, just keep it for now. So now we want it to be black. I've tried to find some shortcuts, couldn't find one, but the easiest way to get some color into those is just use the fill tool and make sure it's on solid fill. The top here you put in black, and now you use the magic wand. The magic wand allows you to create a fill or other stuff without clicking on all the corners. Usually it's activated by using the pressing the space bar, and as you can see, I'm in the middle of that shape, and just click, and it's all dark. I didn't have to click on each corner. So that's the thing. It's that will take you time to do. It's actually quite fast. I mean, just press spacebar, click, 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 and you just do it on all the building that you want. In a way, it does give you more control on what you want to be colored, and which I think is good. Okay, so you could do that for all the buildings if you wanted to, if you feel bored or whatever. But yeah, so now that you've done that, like let's say you've done all the thing in black, what you want is to print it on a A1 or A2 sheets, but it's to scale so that later on you can just bring it into Photoshop or maybe stay in Archicad to do your layout for the other things. So what you'll do is you just first open the organizer. Oops, that was the organizer. Organizer. So here you get like, that's where you get the views, and I want it to be, I'm just going to put it where the plans are. It just need to create a view with that plane, and set the view, so it's here. Now we need to bring it to like the layout book. Just place the drawing again. So that's what we have. As you can see, it's a bit too small, so we need to create another master layout here at the bottom. So it's just telling the software the type of shit you're gonna print on. So I think for crit we are allowed to have 4 A2, so I'll just take one A1 for each sites. So A1, and I think for that I'm just gonna keep it maybe as landscape. I'm gonna put a border of 5 mil. Press create, and maybe I'm just gonna rename that CS4 print. And so now I go back to here and I change the master template to CS4 print. Still too big, and because it's quite a big site, and if we look back on the scale of the view that we had, is 1:50, of course that's a bit too big. So what we're gonna do is to just change the scale of that drawing. Just go right click, view setting, and I think a good scale would be maybe 1 to 2000. Press OK. It should automatically resize. Sometimes the drawing might go in like way over here, so usually let's say it's over there. Oops, just want to show you. Let's say it's over there, and so when you resize, rescale, you don't see anything. Don't panic, just press this button, it will fit to window, and then you can see, oh, it's here. So you just drag it down to the white area. Okay, so now you get it. And if you don't want the title, easy, just go into the setting. So it's either Control T or you can just press this icon, and it's under title, no title. Press OK. Now if you don't want some of this, you can just scale it, just crop it. It's this little icon here, offset edges. Just pull it down, and then you can just place it. And if you wanted to, you can just have some more copies. You just select the image, and I think it's control, and you maintain control. You get the little plus sign, and if you press shift at the same time, you just slot into that axis, so it's line. And what you can do also if you wanted to rotate, because I think for my presentation I actually wanted to maybe have it straight, so I can have like the images or maybe some labels that's like perpendicular to the streets. You can do that. You just click on any of the corners or maybe the center, and then you choose the rotate button here, and maybe you go at the center here, then maybe let's say 12. Yeah, it's about right. So it's about straight. And because I don't really like that it's at an angle, so what you could do is just put it in one corner, and then just align the points here. So you use this one, move the node, so you just move this one. Oops. I'm doing this way so that it actually just snaps onto that corner, and because I know it's straight, so it's okay. Do it here. I'm gonna put it on the line, and then I'm gonna click on the node, press shift, so it's locked, and then I'm gonna reference to that point. So now I know it's all square, and I can just offset the edges. Ta-da. So now you get the same image. And if you want, you can make it bigger. And if you want, you can just click in the middle. If you want to move the image inside, it's move sub element. So you can change the position of the map. So yep, and now you can just, if you want to go into Photoshop, you can just publish this. So normally if you put it on the layout book, you would have the PDF here as well. You just need to selected item, so you only publish this, because I use the standard template, so that's why we have all those things, but don't really pay attention to that. Publish, set publishing. I'm just going to use the dataset that we had, like, so I'm going to desktop. So you're just telling where you want the file to be saved at, where. Press OK and select this. Oops, and then publish. So now if you go back to the desktop, your image should be here. So now that you know that this is, I think there was 1 to 2000 on a A1 sheet. So that's the scale it needs to be. Okay, if you wanted to do it in SketchUp, if you have SketchUp or Layout Pro, I'm just going to show you that as well. Let me open SketchUp. Okay, close that. I shouldn't close that. Okay, delete the little guy. Okay, when you use SketchUp, it's important to first change the model info, the unit, because normally if you use the architectural template, it will always be in millimeters, and what you want is to just set it in meters. Press enter, and now you can import it. Import. Go into the same. It's me here. And zoom out, and that's what you have. And if we check this distance, 12 meters, so it's correct. And here, if you wanted to, you can just let's turn on the layers. Just don't want the parcel, and I don't want the area selected. Maybe just this. Okay, if you go inside, you can see it's just lines, and you can create a surface. One plugin or extension that you can download, and that's free. It's called Surf for You, and this will allow you to make faces quite automatically. So you just select all the face, all the lines I mean, and go to the extension Surface for You Mix Face, and then you can see at the bottom there's like 20,000 lines or faces. Oops. Yeah, I think when you do it, maybe don't do it on as many lines as I did, because as you can see, kind of crashed my computer. Oh, yeah, it survived, but I would delete some of the left side because it's not really important. So, yep, maybe even the one at the bottom, just so that my computer doesn't cry too much. But as you can see, we all have the faces. And now I actually want them in black. So on SketchUp it's a bit easier because we managed to do the faces automatically. And I'm just going to reverse them so they're all white. And I'm going to make them as a group. And now if you take your material tool, if you press B, normally your material panel is going to pop up. And you can just go to black and just click on it, and they're all dark. Now if you go to power projection and get to a top view, and If you don't have those icons here, you can just go into View Toolbars, and they are under Views, those ones. So just click that one. If you don't have those, it's from an add-on, so don't pay attention to that. So now that we got our figure ground, I think I'd like to have the background white. So this is under the styles, and I'm just going to choose this one just to get a white background, and I'm going to turn back the texture on so I get the dark, and I'm going to save that as a where's the scene? I'm going to save that as a scene and call it figure ground. Okay, so save it. I'm going to save it here as well. Figure ground SketchUp. Now you want to bring it into layout. It's into layout. And remind me later. Okay. I'm gonna do on I don't think they have A1. Maybe they do at the bottom. Oh, A1 landscape. I'm just gonna use that. Oh, this one. Don't need all that. Just delete this. So now I know that this is A1 sheet, and if I select that, there is no scale. So at the moment I'm just gonna change the scale. So what we did before was 1 to 2000. So you can just go here on the scale you add. Make sure that this is in millimeter. This is in millimeter as well. And you type in 2000 and add this scale. So this way you can just add any type of scale that you want. If you can't find it, just press close. So now make sure that you select the drawings, and now you get 2000. Press OK. And as you can see, it's about the same size as what we had before, and you can adjust the part that you want to show or not. So that's how you get it to drawing to scale. And maybe you can just export it as a PDF, the same one, maybe Archicad and SketchUp. I put quality, let's go high, and there's two. I think there was 2 pages. Maybe just go for 1 to 1. So we just have this one. Export. Okay, maybe there was maybe it was number 2. Let's go back to here and let's go see the pages. So yeah, we were in. So there was the cover page, number 2. So that's the number 2 that we want. Save, and we're gonna go 2 from 2. Oops. 2 from 2. Oh, come on. Export, overwrite. Come on. Okay, so now we get the drawing, and if we compare the two, yeah, they're about the same size. We can even check that in Photoshop. Dun, 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 dun. Open. So we're just going to open the 2 PDFs that we created. Okay. I haven't done that before, so I don't know if it's going to work or not. Better work. Okay. Control H if you want to remove the grid. And as you can see, imported as a PNG, so there was some transparency. So let's see if I take that and I copy and I paste it on top of that. Ooh, okay, they're not the same size. Let's make a new A3. I just want to try something. So it's this one here, and if I go here, I select that. Normally, it's not the same size. Okay, but I think it's better to use the one from Archicad. I think there's more chance that this one is more correct than the SketchUp one. I think the SketchUp one is because it kind of it cropped it. So maybe let's go back to the layout and see what happened, because it didn't print the whole thing. So maybe let's see if we export it as an image and maybe as a JPEG, because JPEG doesn't allow transparency. So background, SketchUp, JPEG, press OK, 1:1, export. So yep, so I think that's the A1 size. Let's go back to Photoshop. Let's open that file, JPEG 2, and now if we select this, hopefully it's gonna be the same, and it's not. Okay, why is that? This is supposed to be A1, no? Image size. Now if we go to centimeters, is that the A1 scale? Let me check. A1 size 494. Yeah, that should be A1. Why is this one not to scale? What about this one? Is it A1? Image size. This is much bigger. Let's go back to the Archicad one. I'm just gonna check if my master layer was really correctly set up. A1 isometric, yeah. Okay. Alright, they're the same scale. 1 to 2000. Okay, maybe if I try to, I'll do a JPEG. Maybe it's when it compress in PDF, maybe there's a higher resolution, so that's why it does it. We'll check that. JPEG. Yikes. Okay. Oh my god, too many windows. So that's the one from SketchUp. That's the one. Ooh, such a really bad quality. But I'm just gonna import it and see what it is. I don't know why it looks a bit smaller. Oh my god. Yeah, there must be something wrong with the scale somewhere. Okay, well, but I think the Archicad one is more accurate. That's something I have to check again, but yeah, because that's why I actually don't recommend to work on Photoshop for your layout. I would rather try to do all my layout in Archicad. So let's say you make a section, and or maybe yeah, like an elevation. Let's just create something quickly. Okay, oops, just move that. Okay, that's not this one. Oh, I haven't used a Archicad in a while. How do you change it? But it's okay. I'm just gonna move it up, just so we get an elevation. So I would just bring everything into the same layout here, and I would start placing all my elevations or whatever in here, and because I know they'll be at the correct scale, and that scale can be changed at any time. So like if I wanted to change the scale to let's say 200, it's gonna be smaller. And you could even bring some photos. So you would, I think for photos it would be better to just create another worksheet and just paste in photos. And let me see, I think I'm just going to download a photo that I've taken. Take that out. Wait a second. So for photos, just create the worksheet and just go in your file. You can just drag in it in Archicad directly. And oops. And you just can zoom in. So now you got a photo, and now if you wanted to, I don't know, you can even cheat, make some, oops, I can draw some lines here if you want to create your fake perspective, your fake drawing. Da -da -da. And then you can just delete this if you wanted to. But then the same thing as that we did for the survey, you can just drag it into the, make it as a view. I'll put it in details. There's nothing there, so I'm just gonna put it there. Details, photos, and put in the same layout sheet. Okay, so it's quite big. So there's different way to do it. Either you just do the shortcut Control K, which allows you to resize an image. So press OK, you click on one end, then the other, and then you just drag it up or down, or left or right, and then you move into place. You could also, that's it, or you could just go into the setting, and here you can change the drawing scales. 100, it's gonna be smaller, but it's a photo, so it doesn't really need to have any scale. But yeah, that's what I'll do. And if you want to keep the same style, like you don't want to show the title, you could just go back to the setting, Control T, or this little icon, and take no title. Or you can just select the properties by using Alt, and then you get this little syringe, and you can just grab all the properties of this, and if you press Control Alt, you will have, oh no, that's the syringe. Oh, just put it back the option that you had for this image. So we removed the title, but then because it was at another scale, so that's why it bring it back bigger. But you can just change it to 1 to 200 if you want it, and then you can place it here. So like, I think it's easier to do in Archicad because the software I think it's more powerful and can handle a little bit more. And it's mostly because there's more chance that you get the better scale. Okay, Do you guys have any question? There's only 3 of you, so feel free to ask. And but yeah, I will just prepare my layout here and export it as a PDF and put it back in Photoshop. But I don't know why, like it didn't. Let's go back and try it again. Put in, oops, properties, put it back in PDF, document option, PDF option, DPI, compress, export layer. Nope. Let's try again. I'm just gonna publish that again. Close. And to make sure that's 1 to 2000. So we get here with the image, let's see. And we're gonna close current tab, close current tab. I think what I'm gonna do is gonna try to print it on the A3 or A4. I'm gonna resize and check which one's correct, you know, because if we open it, this one. Okay, maybe that's where I got it wrong. It might have cropped it as well. So crop to bounding box, crop to media. No. Crop. I don't want crop. Image, page, outbox, bounding box. Because yeah, I think that's why it went wrong. Maybe I haven't seen it in the other one because it was the line wasn't showing. Image size, centimeters. Yeah, I don't want. Oh, okay, outbox. Because that's the correct size, 94, 59.4. That's okay. Okay, so this looks a bit more correct. Oh, for some reason, maybe just close that off because I think it was, we didn't set to like CMYK or something. So outbox, change to RGB, or maybe C81K. It's okay. Now you should have some color. Gonna put a background at the back. Okay, it's a line. Now let's try. So that's the SketchUp one. It's supposed to be A1. I'm just gonna copy that part. Okay, they're still not the same size. Come on. Image size, centimeters, 84, 59. With this one. Yeah, okay. Maybe it's because of the resolution. 96. Oh, so many things. 300 dpi. Maybe I'm gonna try to reduce that to put it to 96, see if it fits. Okay. And now let's go back to the SketchUp one. Copy. And they look more similar. Let's go see and do multiply and maybe change the opacity. Okay, so it fits. So it was the resolution that we need to change. So make sure that if all your images that you came up from, they should be the same size, image size, like to A1 or A2, and check the resolution. Okay, I think that's it for now. I mean, we'll fix it in the end, so it's okay. Thanks, guys. I mean, if you have any other questions, you can just maybe leave in the comments, or yeah, just ask me at school if you want to. Cheers. Good night.